Welcome in, welcome in. Tap the screen, share the live. Tap the screen, share the live. We will get started in just a couple minutes. This is Morning Flow. We will do a 15 minutes of movement, 15 minutes of meditation, 15 minutes of journaling, and 15 minutes of day planning. This is a way that we can start our day, every day. This week we also begin Intro to Holistic Medicine. If you would like to still register for that class, you may do so. I will hold an info session later today. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. So good morning, everyone. Let me see, normally this one will do it in the evening. I don't know what's going on today. All right, perfect. So good morning, everyone. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm your host, Dr. Erica Steele, for Morning Flow, where we start our day with intention so that we can create our day really in flow. So we're going to begin with some gentle movement because we just woke up. Nice and easy. Big breath here. And exhale. Big breath. And exhale. Big breath. And exhale. And big breath. And exhale. Shoulders up. Big inhale. And exhale. Shoulders up. Big inhale. Exhale. Shoulders up. Big inhale. Exhale. Shoulders up. Big inhale. And exhale. Shoulders up. Big inhale. Big exhale. Shoulders up. Big inhale. Big exhale. Very good. One arm up. Nice and tall. When we start at the top, go ahead, inhale it up. Nice and tall. Imagine there's a piece of string pulling you up, 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 and pulling the opposite side down. One more time, big inhale. And exhale, other side, big inhale. And exhale, big inhale. And nice stretch. Exhale down, big inhale. And exhale down. One last time, big inhale. And exhale down. Both arms up, big inhale. And exhale down, big inhale. And exhale down, big inhale. And exhale down, big inhale. And swan over, or mermaid rather. Exhale back to the center, big inhale. And mermaid over. Exhale, very good. Big inhale. Mermaid over. And relax. Big inhale. And relax over. Very good. And down the center. And go ahead and move backwards. Very good. Now we're going to work on our neck. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right. One last time. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Shoulder rolls backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. All right. Knee to chest, right side, and release. Knee to chest, right side, and release. Knee to chest, right side, and release. Left side, knee to chest, and release. Left side, knee to chest, and release. Left side, knee to chest, and release. One last time. Left side, knee to knee to chest, and relax. All right, very good. Now we're going to work on our core. So we're going to go ahead and inhale, and we're going to visualize and connect with our lower abdomen, and we're going to contract our pelvis, our sex organs, our rectum, all the way up into our abdomen. So go ahead and root lock. And then zip your lower abdomen and contract, buttoning your belly button to your spine, imagining that there is a rubber band wrapped around your midsection and then pulling down on your diaphragm, and hold, and hold, and hold, and hold, and release. All right, so now again, we're going to imagine that we're going to zip up our lower abdomen. So we're going to contract and pull everything in, and it's okay if you can't really get that brain muscle connection. Keep focusing on it because we're building proprioception. We're building that muscle memory. Go ahead and zip it up, contracting your pelvis, your sex organs, your rectum, contracting all that up into your belly button to your spine, zipping all your lower abdomen up. Imagine that there is a rubber band wrapped around your midsection and then pulling your diaphragm down. Very good. And hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go ahead and release one last time. All right, so we're going to be very intentional with our abdomen. We're going to bring our brain to that lower abdomen. We're going to contract yet again. So contracting our lower abdomen, contracting our rectum, our sex organs, all the way up into our belly button, buttoning our belly button to our spine, pulling our diaphragm down as we imagine this rubber band wrapped so tightly around, holding, holding in, holding in, holding in, holding in, and release. Very good. Very, 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 very good. Okay, so we're going to go and do some circles with our hips just to get that synovial fluid moving. We're going to do some circles around our ankles, and then we should be done. I'm not going to do any hamstring today, just simply because I think I'm a little bit too forward. All right, so go ahead and do some circles with your pelvis. Very good. Just nice in circles. Other side. Nice in circles. And your ankle, circles on the right side, and then circles on the left side. And then pull both of your feet up towards you, nice big stretch of your calves, and then go ahead and point your fingers, or not your fingers, your toes. Point, 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 and release. All right, cool. So that concludes our movement. So we just get a little bit of movement in the morning, really to get the synovial fluid going in our joints, making sure that we're nice and open, really kind of telling our mind, hey, we're waking up, we were laying down, we're all scrunched up in little balls or whatever. And so now we're waking up, and so we want to release, our brains, release our body from that sleep position. So it's a good way to get the blood flow going. Remember, it's not really meant to be a workout per se, more so just to get blood flow going and to get, your system kind of moving forward. Okay, so now we are, I believe, on day 6 of our prosperity meditation. If you have not joined our community as of yet, please do. It's completely free. And we will guide you through our meditation series so you can get alerts, and also too if you need to practice the meditation or you want to look up the meditation, etc., whatever. This is a Kundalini yoga meditation. So Kundalini yoga is a form of yoga, and it's built off of these major principles of mudra, right? So mudra is a hand position. So in this particular Kriya will be doing this particular mudra, right? Our eyes are going to be closed, and then there's a little slit looking at the tip of our nose. So that is our mudra, right? And then our breath, right? Because it's mudra, mantra, and breath. So our breath for this is just a nice relaxed breath. Our mantra, though, that we're going to use is har, right? So har, and we're going to really bring it into our abdomen. So har, 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 right? And then how Kundalini is structured is we do a tune-in, then we'll actually do the meditation. So in this case, we'll do it for 5 minutes, and then we'll do a closing. So I'll tune us in because most people, haven't done Kundalini yoga or they're not used to it or whatnot. So I'll tune us all in, and then we'll go into the 5-minute meditation. So, and I'll walk you through just one more time. So I'm going to, chant us in, right? So I'm going to do our little chanting to really, and the chant is really to open us up to higher self, and really to allow us to create a sacred space for what we're doing. So I'll do that, and as well as a, kind of a protection. Then when we do the meditation, we'll take a breath, and then we'll start, and it's going to go har, 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 har. So we're really going to pull in from our tummy and in the back of our throat. And remember, our eyes are closed with a little bit of slit. We'll do this for 5 minutes. All right, so I'm going to tune us in. Big inhale. Namo Guru De Namo. Namo Guru Dev Namo. Namo Guru Dev Namo. Ad Gudename Jugad Gudename Sad Gudename Sid Gude Vedame Ad Gudename Jugad Gudename Sad Gudename Sid Gude Vedame. All right, so we're in a big inhale now. That was our tune-in. Our tune-in is complete. Remember, our mantra is har, and our mudra is our pretty much our hands clapping together. Big inhale, and begin. Har, 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 har. I'll keep the time. You keep the hars. Remember, really pull that abdomen in every time you do it. It's really there to build personal power, self-love, self-worth, self-appreciation. Har, 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 heart, 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 heart. Keep going. About 2 minutes has passed, so we'll keep moving forward. About 3 more minutes here. And really focus on strengthening that abdominal wall as you do your HARs, keeping your gaze at the tip of your nose, just through that little 10% slit. So making sure we keep that going, keeping your mantra going. Heart, 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 heart. Heart, 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 heart. About 2 minutes left. We want to keep that momentum, keep that pace, keep the mantra going, keep your mudra going, stay consistent, keeping it going. And heart, 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 heart. About a minute left. Keep going, building the personal power, self-love, self-worth with your third chakra, activating all of those abdominal muscles, pulling in, keeping your mudra, keeping your mantra, and continuing in for the last 30 seconds for heart, 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 heart. Big inhale. Putting your hands in a cup, holding that breath at the top, visualizing all the blessings coming towards you, all of the prosperity and abundance, allowing yourself to allow it to come. Taking deep breaths, gently relaxing, and with another deep breath, hold it in, root lock. Go ahead and pull your sex organs, your rectum, all the way in and up, just as we did before, buttoning up your belly button, contracting your abs, imagining that there is this rubber band wrapped around, pulling down your diaphragm, and release. One more breath, and release. So that concludes our prosperity meditation. Hey Anna, our favorite advisor, our prosperity meditation will be housed in our online community. So if you want to practice that, I'll post a instructional video in there. You can do it for as little as 3 minutes, as maximum of 11 minutes a day, and I'll put all the references to it so you can look it up and all of that for that Kundalini yoga. So again, I think we're about on day 6, and we're continuing on for a 45-day practice of our HAR prosperity meditation. So now we're going to grab our notebook, our journal. And so we're going to work with a practice of scripting. We've been really talking about this concept of who am I? And so really defining and redefining who you are and who your identity is, right? And so we as human beings, we hold on so closely to what we identify, whether we identify as a mother or as we identify as a wife or a doctor or a community leader or any of these things that we identify ourselves as. We can also choose how we identify. And so looking at the subconscious mind, really purging all of those thoughts, those negative belief systems, those limiting belief systems that really don't serve us, those little voices in the back of our head that are telling us not to do it. That's really what we need to flush out. So first we must acknowledge it. Remember, we can't move forward unless we acknowledge it, and having is evidence of wanting, as we have learned from Carl Jung's work. And so we don't want to reject it and, oh no, I don't think this about myself and I don't feel this about myself, but rather we want to accept if we have negative feelings about ourselves, not to say that we're going to stay with that. We just want to acknowledge that negative feeling, give it its space for whatever it needs, and then when we feel safe enough, then we can begin to release it and replace it with, a positive, reframed emotion. So for right now, we're going to first write about who am I, and we're going to write about all of the negative traits that we think we have, right? So whatever that is, who am I is the premise, but we're going to write it more so in, all of the different things. I'm overwhelmed, I procrastinate, I'm confused, I'm frustrated. Whatever you're feeling and thinking in this particular moment, regardless of what it is, it's completely perfect the way that it is. We don't want to change it, fix it, make anything different. We really just want to accept it. And so we're going to give it some space and time in our journals and just write down some of these adjectives. It could also be things that you've heard from other people that kind of resonate, but we really just want to acknowledge and give that negative kind of all that space. So take a few minutes just to acknowledge all of that and get it all clear. And so I like to say, kind of vomit it all out on a piece of paper, whatever you have lingering for yourself. And just take a few minutes. Just taking a few minutes, excuse me, just to write out anything negative, anything limiting. I can't, I won't, I shouldn't, I'm afraid, I don't know how this can happen. All of those things, we just want to really give it space and give it room. Understanding we're not going to leave it there. All right. And clearing all of that out, writing out any of the, I'm not moving forward in this, and I'm not moving forward in that, and this isn't happening, and I'm frustrated, and all of this. Hello! Just go ahead and give that space and give it room. Otherwise, it's going to live in the background of your mind, and it's going to have control over you because it's running in the background and you're not acknowledging it. And so those thought patterns or those thought processes come from somewhere. And if they're lurking in the background, they're triggering your emotions and your emotional responses, which then trigger your actions and your behaviors. So that's why we want to almost do a daily spring cleaning of any of this negative thought process that we pick up. It's almost like brushing your teeth. It's keeping this mental diet and cleaning out any negativity. And once you feel like, okay, I've got all this negativity out, right? I want you to just sit there and be with it. Again, not trying to change it, fix it, make it anything different. Anything negative, we just want to get it out and we want to love it. And how could you love all these horrible things? Well, because they're a part of us. They are not us. They are not a character of us. This is not a declaration of who we are as human beings. This is more so just cleaning out the trash of our mind that really doesn't serve us. And so once we get it out on paper, and once we give it space, and once we love it, and once we accept it, right? We acknowledge and we honor the place and the space that this once served us. However, we recognize that this doesn't serve us now. And so we powerfully choose to let this go. And so if we let this go, we can rip it up, we can burn it, we can throw it away, but some sort of symbolism or some sort of practice of letting go. Because these things no longer serve us anymore. We've brought them up, we acknowledge them, we accept them, we value them, and now we're going to lovingly give them space. And what happens if we can't let them go? Then we just keep holding on to them every single day, and we nurture them, and we love them, and we care for them until we feel safe enough to release them. So there's no time limit or expiration date on when we release these things. We just want to get in a practice of being in a mental diet, clearing up our minds in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, just consciously going through and filtering and sorting, because we're exposed to so much stuff with the media. So we just want to clear out any of those little crazy thoughts that may creep in, just a nice little flossing of it. And then we want to sit back and go, okay, so if these are not going to be ultimately true, what do I want to be true instead? Do I want to be motivated? Do I want to be self-assured? Do I want to be confident? Do I want to be, what do you want to be? What do you want your experience to be? Hello, blessed love, blessed high rising. What do you want your experience to be, right? So today I want my experience to be productive, prosperous, focused, productive. This is my experience today. I'm deciding that this is how I want to experience my life today. I've acknowledged the past. I've given it space. I've let it go or honored it where it is. And now I want to fill it with something different. I want to fill it with, productivity, and I want to fill it with focus, and I want to fill it with concentration, and I want to fill it with all these positive things, right? Because I'm willing to do my part. I'm willing to do this differently. I'm willing to let go of what no longer serves me. I'm giving back to the line what is not mine. I'm taking from the line what is mine, and I'm standing powerfully in this moment, in this present day, right? Choosing how I move forward. And with this choice of me moving forward, I get to decide how I think and how I feel and how my actions go. And I'll know that I'm in alignment when things are easy, when it's in a flow, when I have inspired action, when new doors of possibility open up, when I feel excited again. How do I know if I still need to let go of some of the past? If I'm disappointed, if I'm frustrated, if I'm angry, if I'm sad, if I'm procrastinating, if I'm avoiding, if I'm self-abandoning. Those are indications that I still need to let go of the past. In the community today, I'll post your chakra system as well, just so you have it. It's not really connected to our lectures for the week, but at least you'll have it. So you can identify where you may have some imbalances. How do I know what to let go of? Okay, so you know what to let go of because it's your constant thought. So it's a persistent thought. So a persistent thought can come from a person, a place, a situation, a circumstance, or an event. It's something outside of yourself that triggers the incongruence from your subconscious to your conscious. What do I mean by incongruence? In order for things to occur or for you to process things, your mind has to agree. So your subconscious, which is pretty much your filing cabinet, your storage unit, your past, has to agree with your conscious mind, your security system, right? And they hold in place your beliefs, your core beliefs, in your defense mechanisms, right? So we know that we become triggered and we're trying to protect ourselves from vulnerability when we exhibit things like control, pride, judgment, anger, and hatred. And why those emotions? Because those are protective emotions, right? So those emotions are mired in that fight, flight, freeze, fawn response, right? So when we feel incongruent and we don't feel in alignment with ourselves, what happens is we self-abandon, right? And then we give to other people emotionally. And what I'm calling for people to do is, number one, to close Operation Save-A-Ho and put them on notice and bring self back to self and focus on sifting and sorting your own issues and developing skills and tools necessary in order to not only heal, but also to be effective in your life. Because we know that, these thoughts and these emotions are not siloed. And what do I mean by not siloed? I mean that, they're not running independently only in one area of your life. These thoughts and these feelings may show up predominantly in one area. And what I mean by area, I mean like one area of your life, either your finances, your health, your relationships, etc., right? So these old thought patterns, right? These old negative thought patterns are impacting your current present reality. So another way to gauge, how do I know what to let go of? Look at your life, do a personal inventory, right? Look at the areas of your life. Look at the areas like of your finance or your relationships or your career or your personal health or any of those relationships, your marriage or your parenting. Look at all of these aspects of your life and is this what you want? Is everything in this area in total alignment? Most people, 99.9% of people, it's no, right? Why? Because we're so afraid to let go of the old and let go of the past and fully step into the present and powerfully create. Why? Because we have a lot of this negative thinking. We have a lot of the past. Well, this didn't work before, and this didn't happen. And when I did this before, this is what happened. And yada, yada, yada. We have lots and lots of self-talk. And so all of that negativity is now impacting your present moment, but more importantly, your present moment decision making. Right? If I agree subconscious and conscious that I'm not good enough based off of something that happened to me in the past, right? I'm going to operate from that space, meaning I'm going to choose relationships from I'm not good enough. I'm going to make financial decisions from I'm not good enough. I'm going to make health decisions from I'm not good enough. I'm going to make career decisions out of I'm not good enough. I'm going to parent out of I'm not good enough. So all of these, core beliefs or limiting beliefs that we have are really driving our present day behavior. So I want to teach you this technique and tool called mental diet, right? To be able to clear this out on a daily basis because we pick up junk and we pick up junk from other people too, right? So you ever, felt great, everything was wonderful, and somebody came into the room that had a funky attitude and then they left and all of a sudden you felt kind of funky, you felt off, right? It's because it can be very contagious energetically, because we're all part of this consciousness and this collective consciousness, right? And some would say collective consciousness known as God. We're not talking about religion here. We're talking about really kind of how we're spiritually connected energetically and scientifically, right? So we do have, on a very basic level, we have, protons, neutrons, and electrons, right? And they're all working together to create this frequency of energy, right? Thank you for the heart me. And so then those, compounds, right, eventually turn into create cells, tissues, organ systems, right? Hello, Tata Kisses, lifestyles, right? All of these things. And so what we want to do, and it's greatly impacted by our lifestyle. Our cellular nutrition is greatly impacted by the nutrition that comes in and the toxins that go out. It's that even exchange. But if we look at it, right, toxicity is more than just what we eat. It's what we consume in terms of our thoughts, in terms of our emotions, in terms of our actions, in terms of our behaviors. All of these things are related back to what we're consuming, what we're taking in, and then what we're putting out. So we want to clear that up a little bit every day. And then, too, we want to look at these different areas of our life and say, okay, I want to improve. Let's say I want to improve my finances, right? Then I'm going to look at my limiting beliefs behind my finances. I'm going to set a goal, right? I'm going to set a result that I want to create with my finances. And then with that result, I'm going to process out all these limiting beliefs. And I'm going to make that goal, kind of not unbelievable, but I'm going to stretch myself, right? And I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to know how this is going to come in, right? So let's say I'm going to work on, thank you. Let's say I'm going to work on, manifesting a dollar amount, right? Just when I say, when I bring myself in and I go, all right, I give myself permission to have, in whatever dollar amount you have, right? So feel where you feel that in your body, just saying that, just allowing yourself to have it, right? Just receiving. Yes, exactly. Just receiving, right? So if we receive, right, it can be uncomfortable because then we don't have control. Then we have to be vulnerable, right? Then because control, again, while it's an illusion, it's also a false sense of power. So it allows us to feel in control when we're out of control, right? And so that's why we go to it, but it's a false sense, right? Because we in essence don't have control over anything. So really it's coming from our disempowered state, it's coming from our insecurity that motivates us to kind of reach out and go, hey, I need to control people, places, situations, circumstances, and events to be able to protect my deep insecurities. Make sense? So there's this even exchange. So we clear things out based off of our predominant thoughts. We clear things out based off of what we come up in our meditations. We clear things out based off of how we feel in our body. Remember, the chest is grief, the digestive system is fear, the back is a lot of lack of support and bearing the responsibility of others. Tingling in the feet is moving forward. Achiness in the knees is inflexibility, difficulty to move forward. So the body will give us signs and symptoms. If you have any kind of sign symptom that, you're like, hey, what's going on with this? I don't know. When you're in the community and you're in the discussion this week, feel free to ask that question. Naturally, on the platforms that I'm streaming on, there's no capability to do discussion. So we have communities that are built up based off of your intention for learning holistic healthcare. They're free communities, lots of free resources. We are starting an intro to holistic medicine class this week. And so there's still time to register if you'd like to register for this class. They are hosted live just like this on the platform, and replays are held in our communities. There's 3 communities that you can choose from. The email will go out today if you are already registered. So 3 communities: a holistic health coaching track if you're looking to do this as a profession, a holistic lifestyle family where you're looking to treat yourself, your family, friends, and your community, and then Pure Black, which is a community which has cultural education into it. So it's really based off of healthcare for treating you as a Afro-Indigenous or a Black person. So those are the 3 communities that I have. They're completely free. You can join them by clicking the link in the bio, and then we'll after we vet you, we'll accept you in. We accepted a whole bunch of people in yesterday to the community. So if you've been accepted in, please introduce yourself, where you're from, etc., how we can assist you in any way. If you're taking the class, there is an app you can download. There's a lot of resources in there, so please take your time to go through. I'm gonna give you like a fire hose of information, and so really just try to pace yourself and really building this intuition, so you're not just thinking and you're not just feeling, but you're more optimized. So your thoughts and your feelings are kind of working together so that you manifest things more efficiently. Remember, we're manifesting people, places, situations, circumstances, and events to make things easier for us, not to make things more difficult. So remember, anything that you need, you want, you just have to ask for it. And so sometimes asking can be really challenging for people, especially if they have low self-worth or low self-esteem. They sometimes think that by asking for people, it's bothering them, etc. And I'm here to tell you that I've been of service to many people for many years, and I know how to do all of this with ease. So please allow me to shoulder some of that for you, at least helping you get organized with your life, starting with this morning flow class. So we have morning flow Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And really the premise is a way for you to start your day. You can go back and watch the replays, etc. We do different topics. We're working through prosperity right now. So we're redefining what prosperity means. We're redefining what abundance means. Abundance and prosperity doesn't necessarily have to be attached to a dollar amount. It's more of an abundance, more of a expansion, more of an allowance, and it's more about freedom and breaking free from any sort of oppressive thinking, emotions, etc. So it's a little self-work that you can do to begin the process of deconstructing. So, or continue on in your journey. So if you're interested in joining our free community, please take a look. I will go live later to talk about, what we're talking about this week, etc., answering any questions as well. So pay attention to that. Okay, so now continuing back with our scripting, right? So now that we've given ourselves a little bit of space and time with it, right? Anything else that we want, anything else that we want to feel today, anything else before we wrap up that section and move on to our day planning, how is it that we want this day to go? Because remember, we're not at the effect of our day, we're actually creating our day and we're causing our day. So what's one word that we want to take into our day planning, right? So one word. So whether that's productive or focused, etc. Mine is profitable. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do profitable. So I am profitable, right? So we're going to use in the I am statements, okay? So giving myself permission, right, to be profitable. I'm giving myself permission to choose profitability. I'm choosing profitability. And so why am I saying these things to myself? Because I want to feel how it resonates in my body, right? I'm trying it on. Like a jacket, I'm trying it on. I'm profitable. I'm enough. I'm expanding. I'm expansive. And I'm just playing around with it. I'm just being with it, right? Very good. And when it feels like, okay, I think I can do this, I'm going to go into my mind's eye and holding this anchor point. So go ahead and putting your pointer finger to your thumb. This is a mudra. We're going to do an anchor point. Go ahead and point that and close your eyes. Whatever your word is, mine's profitability. I'm going to think back to a time when I felt profitable, and I'm going to fire up that emotion. fire up that emotion, whatever that emotion is. So whatever emotion you want to feel today, you want to fire that up, and you want to really feel it opening up around your chest, your tummy. You don't want any pain or restriction or discomfort. If there's pain, restriction, or discomfort, that means that there's some unhealed wound there, some sort of unhealed emotional wound. If it feels good, if it feels empowering, it feels enlightening, right? That lets us know that you're on the right track. So we're going to hold that just for a few more minutes. Big inhale and exhale, relax. And the purpose of that is to hold on to that sensation, hold on to that feeling so you can come back to it at any time during the day. So really we're firing that up within ourselves internally, and we're letting our conscious mind know that it's safe so they can let the guard down, and then we're letting our subconscious mind know this is what we want. So focus on this. So now I'm going to reaffirm that throughout the day, right? Maybe I'll stop and I'll do my anchor point again, and I'll visualize again, and I'll put myself there, right? Maybe right before bed, maybe right when I wake up, right? These are all when the subconscious mind is more open. I may even record myself doing some mantras or mudras on the Parrot app, which is a totally free app that will loop anything that you say. And so as I'm looping, as I'm listening to positive things, I'm keeping that subconscious mind flooded with the things that I want, not the things that I don't want. All right, so last part of our class, we're going to inhale in, and now we're going to go into our day planning. So we're going to plan our day. So remember, we're going to plan it from whatever our being is, whatever our I am is. So I'm profitable. And then with that feeling, with that thought, we're going to look for any what we call inspired action. What's inspired action? It'll feel like a motivation. It'll feel like an excitement. It'll feel like an enthusiasm. It'll feel like I got to get this done. It's absolutely like you don't even want to sit and write it down. You just absolutely want to go do it. That's what an inspired action is. You're being inspired because you're in the flow. How are you in the flow? Your thoughts and your emotions match and they line up, creating more, because remember, emotions are energy in motion. So you have a thought which is based off of a frequency, right? And so that frequency then transmutes, right, into what, right? Into energy and motion. So now energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but it can be transformed. So now we're transforming, right, these lower frequency emotions into higher frequency emotions, and we're maintaining these higher frequency emotions to be able to use that as jet fuel for our energy. What's our energy? Our vital force life energy. That's what keeps us alive. So we're going to come from that space and we're going to plan our day, right? So take a deep breath and exhale. Deep breath and exhale. Deep breath and exhale. All right, perfect. So now we're going to pick 3 to 5 tasks that we need to get done in our day, right? That are related to this particular whatever it is that we want to create. Mine is profitability, so I'm sure that it's going to be some patient accounts and some invoicing and things like that. But I want to really feel it, right? I want to feel inspired to do that. I don't want to feel like drudgery to do it, like I have to do it, like I'm forced to do it. I really want to feel it organically. So I'm going to write all the tasks that I need to get done down, right? And if let's say it's not focused, I'm going to put them all in little buckets. So again, maybe this is a finance bucket, a career bucket, a family bucket, a kiddo bucket. Whatever my tasks are, I'm going to put it in buckets. I'm going to prioritize them, okay, in order of highest to least. Now, I'm also going to set the tone for that day by the first thing I'm going to do is prioritize my meals and my breaks. So I'm going to put myself in there and my self-care first. Why? Because oftentimes we don't prioritize ourselves. And so what happens is we put ourselves last. So whatever's left over, which is very little most of the time, that's the scraps we give ourselves. And we do that repeat after repeat after repeat. It's a fawn response. It's not healthy. So we're going to stop doing it, right? And if we identify ourselves doing it, we're going to put ourselves in a container. We're going to observe it. We're not going to make it wrong. We're not going to shame ourselves. We're not going to blame ourselves. We're just going to identify, recognize, recognize the behavior and go, wait a second, we're going to shift and focus on something else. So while we're shifting and focusing on something else, right, what we're really focusing on is how can I revamp and reshape my personal identity, my self-concept, my core beliefs, and my beliefs about myself, so that it gets to be easy for me too. I get to make it fun. I get to, live the best life that I want. I get to do these things because I say so, right? And that's the difference between me giving my power away to somebody else and saying, you're responsible for this, or even still, you can take this away from me. Nobody can take anything away from you that's not you theirs, right? And I don't care what it is, right? And I know that can be some conflicting to mean. Well, what does that mean? Because this happened and that happened and this happened. Those are all of our stories to validate what we believe to be true, which is confirmation bias. We don't want to operate off of confirmation bias. Instead, we want to take things as they come, meaning that new data and new developments we need to leave room for, because new data and new developments can lead to new decisions and new options and new availability. Makes sense? So even though this happened 10 times, you never know, and that 11th time, that's going to be the time that's going to get it. So persistence and resilience definitely pays off. I know it can be really draining and really frustrating, and there are definitely down days that I have too. And so this is why I go to tools like this that help me to kind of get my head straight and really to get focused, because otherwise, what's going to happen? I can get on that soapbox, I can get into that mind, but it does me no good and it does nobody else any good. So I keep that mental diet on a daily basis. Exactly. I keep that mental diet. Taticus has said, being in survival mode. It's because we feel powerless, right? What do we feel powerless over? Whatever thought we have, whatever thought we're creating for ourselves. And then that is triggering an emotion, right? A fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And then from that emotion, we're creating actions, habits, lifestyles, and behaviors. So we can't heal in the same capacity that God is here. We have to shift that. How do we shift that? With new habits and behaviors, with conscious decisions, right? So we're sitting there and we're pulling out all these negative things that we can think about, right? And then we're releasing all of them, and then from there we're putting something in its place. What do we actually want, right? Some of us are even just too afraid to admit to ourselves what we want, right? Let alone admit to other people. So if that's the case, we can't read your mind. It makes it really difficult to support you, right? So it's overcoming all of that fear, coming over the disappointment, setting those healthy boundaries when we're navigating with people, knowing how to discern and look for the signs. There's so many things to this, right? But it's important for you to know that you're in the driver's seat. So beginning the day, right, with clarity. I really like to do mental diet dumps in the evening time, just because we're winding down for bed, and then I'll wake up and do kind of more creative things during the day that keep me inspired. So just a little housekeeping on, how you can do it logistically. So in the evening, you data dump all the negative stuff in your brain, and then you do a gratitude exercise after that. So you get the dark and you get the light, right? And the gratitude is really just to acknowledge what you do have so that you can continue to manifest more. And then you wake up in the morning refreshed, right? Because that hasn't been swimming around in your subconscious all night. You brought it front and center. You acknowledged it. You received it. Let it go. So now the universe goes, great. Here's this space. Now fill it up with what you do want, and then we'll play this game back and forth. So the trick is filling it up with what we want and having more clarity of that, not what we don't want. Because if we fill it up with what we don't want, then we're going to be right back at square one. So this is a daily practice that we can work on. So you've got your to-do list, you've got your priority buckets, you've got a couple things in your schedule that you have put in there, right? Hopefully you've put your first thing was your meals, you put in your water, you put in your steps, you put in all the things that, make you, right? And it's scheduled because we're building a new habit. And then you put in your work or your family commitments, however you see fit to do that. Now you can add that in. So oftentimes, again, people will not be aware of what they want, what they need, self-abandon, right? Then go and sign up for this or do that. And it's really not their vibe and not their joy. So working with me, it's like, ooh, we're going to slow way down because people are reacting, oh, I've got this going on, let me go react. Oh, I've got this going on, let me react. Oh, I've got this going on. So we have to get out of that addictive reaction cycle. And it really begins with, actions like today. Like, okay, I'm going to keep a mental diet. I'm going to clean out the negative. I'm going to reframe it the positive. Nice. So I will be releasing the rest of the content later today. I'll be sending an email out probably within an hour with all the course materials. Again, take it as your pace. If you want a certificate or a CU for the class, click the link in the in the email. I know some people were having some difficulty with it. It should be corrected now, so definitely let me know. And those people that asked about it, I've resent it to you. If you haven't enrolled already into all of the classes that I offer, Intro to Holistic Medicine is one of them that's starting, and then we have Morning Flow, which is this class, but there's a lot of classes, so in the future I want to do a book club, really focused around, books of choices based off the community. So we have a whole book list for our syllabus for this month, and so I'm going to kind of pull some books out for you guys to kind of choose from for a book club. Again, all of these things are optional. You don't have to. You just click the link in the bio, and even in the community, there's a link to if you need to book a discovery call or you need to order labs or get supplements for yourself or whatever. If you just click the link in the bio, it should have everything that you need. So, yeah, and you can always DM as well if you're like, I don't even know, and then I can guide you through. So my DMs are always open to assist, and I do, if you tag me or whatnot, I will respond. So I'm pretty good like that. So just kind of guide you in. Again, once you get in the community, this community is completely a HIPAA protected, high level of data security community. That way it keeps you and all of the information in there contained. It's not shared with anybody else but the people that are in that group, as well as, if I get subpoenaed or anything, but you would know. So it's a great place to share and communicate. That's not on these platforms, even though we do lives and we get out there and we communicate and reach more people. We definitely have to be mindful of things that we're saying, and not everything is for everyone. And so you'll notice you get emails with surveys really asking you what your learning experience wants to be, whether you want to see more live webinars or more evergreen webinars, or you prefer live discussions, or you want, course uploads, or you like 7-day challenges or whatever. So definitely complete that. So that's a way for you to communicate with me so I can adapt the content, to really personalize it and make it useful and suitable for you. I've been in this for a long time, so I have resources for days. So you just tell me what you need, and I can grab it for you. So super excited about that. Definitely join in there by registering, and then you'll also be notified by any of our classes. We have an events calendar actually in the community, and so it will list the times in your time zone that you can register for. Also too, we have courses, so we're all in the Intro to Holistic Medicine course. We start off this week really talking about medical monopolies. We talk about informed consent, jurisprudence for unlicensed providers. We're going to talk about standard of practice, scope of practice, therapeutic order. So a lot of jam-packed information. You're not going to want to miss it. I do go live to discuss on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are part of the community, replays will be available within there. If you are not, some of the things will be left so you can peruse for free. Others, you won't. And again, the community is free itself, but you do have to invest your time and your email address, so, and a questionnaire. So there's that. Yay. All right, so finishing out with our schedule, we've prioritized ourselves, we've put our work, we've put our home things. Right now we're gonna just allow our day to go. We've told our time what it is we're going to do with it. We're not going to schedule back to back. We're going to give each appointment a little bit of room. We're going to acknowledge ourselves at the end of it. We made it through. We did it. We're not going to judge ourselves, beat ourselves up, deprecate, those kinds of things. But I get it, especially if that was primarily what you heard as a child. It's very difficult to get that mental talk out. So we'll work through it and we'll make it happen. So, do you guys have any questions before I log off? And if you've registered so far, you should have a series of emails. Please check your spam because oftentimes we'll go to spam. Ooh. Mm. All right, perfect. So definitely check out my page. Oh, also look at the Intro to Holistic Medicine playlist on YouTube as well as TikTok. That will go over, instructions of how to join the community, how to get connected, how to register, what the communities are for. All of that information will be there. So definitely take a look there. I will go live later for about an hour more to do an info session and discussion topic. Once I kind of release the new content for this week, just wanted to, I'll jump on and have a discussion. So, because I'm sure people will freak out thinking they have to do everything and not realizing this is an immersive experience. So, you're going to be given literally a flash flood of information, and however you want to take it. You want to take it super structured. You want to take it more exploratory. You want to, do it at your own pace. There's no rules for this. So try not to stress. I know people just automatically they get it because of the past, because their past thinking, their past beliefs, they get into this freak out mode when it comes to school or doing new things. So I'll see you guys later. I'll hop off now. Definitely, finish out your day planning. It should be pretty much done because it's pretty repetitious, but finish those up, the last couple pieces. Check out if you're already in the community, introduce yourself, say hi. I'll kind of have the concierge and I will move you to the next step so you know what you need to do from here. We'll be posting the content for this week so you'll be able to tune in. So thank you guys so much for attending Morning Flow. I'm so glad that I was able to help you get in the flow today so that you're not